Hey, I'm TG, and in this video I'm going to be going over the Pursuit Force Warlords Percent, or Warlords RTA, speedrun. So the goal of this run is to complete all 6 of the Warlords missions in whichever order you want. Timing starts when you select your first level from this menu, and it ends when you lose control on your last mission. So that's either the first frame the HUD disappears, or when it cuts to the cutscene of you defeating either Davies or the General. In this video, I'm going to give commentary over what I'm doing. I'm going to describe all the strategies I'm using to the best of my ability. And I'm just going to be doing levels 1 through 6 in order. If I were actually going for world record, I'd be starting with Day of the Dam, since it's the level farthest on the right. That isn't the boss. Since that saves a little bit of time menuing to it. Then you do levels 1 through 4 in whichever order you want, usually in the order of the levels you're scared of the most, and then you would end on the General, since whenever you beat a boss, it plays a cutscene, and you need to wait a tiny little bit before it allows you to skip it, and that amount of time is more than you would take menuing over to level 6. So in order to save the most amount of time, you want to do the boss at the very end. So without further ado, let's start the run in 3, 2, 1... go. So Toxic Convoy is the first level in the game if you're doing career mode, so it's the perfect opportunity to go over the simple mechanics that you'll see in a Pursuit Force speedrun. So a lot of the run is going to revolve around that meter in the bottom right. That is your justice meter. It doesn't do anything until it's full, but when it is full, your weapons will do more damage, and you'll be able, when you jump to another vehicle, it'll be a slow motion jump where you can shoot at the people in the vehicle before you land on either the hood or the trunk. So the objective here is to capture, we have to capture 6 of these tankers, and there's not going to be a whole lot of stuff, strategy here. It's just go fast, don't hit anything, yeah. So whenever you take over a vehicle, you do get whatever weapon that vehicle has. It's not random. These vehicles will have the same guns in it every time. There we go. I'm going to get a little jump here. That jump will accelerate me to almost full speed. So when you're taking over a vehicle, you are not going at that vehicle's full speed. So going off that little lip really helps you out. So I'm pressing L to switch targets the moment I kill the passenger there to save downtime when I'm taking over a vehicle. Alright, so there's the Justice jump in action. I was able to clear the vehicle. Unfortunately, I pressed L to switch targets a bit early, and I wasn't able to kill the driver, so I lost a tiny bit of speed there. If you take control of a vehicle while you're in the air, you can also get another air boost, like you saw me do in the canal back there. So we lost a little bit of speed there. And there you go, that's Toxic Convoy. Oh, I did it again, dang it. Dang, twice in a row, I'm bad at this game. So there you go, that's the main gameplay of Pursuit Force. Now there's 2 other pillars of gameplay we'll get into soon. We're actually going to see an on-foot section in this upcoming mission, Hardware Hijack. Now Hardware Hijack is an interesting mission because it also seems pretty basic. Part 1 is we need to destroy 3 cars, Part 2 is an on-foot section, and Part 3 is a very basic boat section where we need to eliminate enemies, but it highlights just how interesting speedrunning Pursuit Force can be, because depending on how you order taking out cars, you can gain or lose a ton of time, and optimizing these levels in how do you destroy, do you capture, really gains or loses time. So that's a bit of routing you can do in this game. I'm going to keep to the left side of the road here, because if I'm on the right side, I cannot swivel my body in a way where I can shoot this car behind me. Plus it allows me to cut these upcoming corners too. There we go, I got him. I actually got him way earlier than I usually do, so that feels good. Which allows me to freely cut these corners. So you're supposed to jump to these 2 upcoming vehicles here, but this police motorcycle is much faster. It's actually the fastest vehicle in the game, if I'm not mistaken. So these AIs will just boomerang up to us, the waistband to us, if you're familiar with that term. So jumping on their cars actually loses us time. However, I do want to capture them now, because we are running out of road. So we're going to capture this right car first, because it has a shotgun. The shotgun isn't bad, but I want the assault rifle more for the upcoming on-foot section. It's much more effective against ground troops, speedrunning-wise. It just demolishes people. So it's actually much faster to bounce off of walls rather than bother turning. If you hold down a direction to turn for a length of time, then your vehicle will lose a bunch of top speed. So you want to be sort of like tap turning to prevent speed loss around corners, and then you'll just bounce off walls to pick up the rest. Because as you'll see here, you pretty much lose no speed for bouncing off of walls, and it's an excellent way of redirecting your direction. So this on-foot section is very basic. We are going to just shoot at all the people and not target them, because this game is great. And there we go. Alright, we're going to take out these people on the left. I want to be moving forward at all points when I'm shooting at the bad guys in here. So I want to be continually heading for the docks, because I need to go grab a boat. And here's what I'm talking about. So here's my current routing for this section. We have to capture or destroy 6 upcoming boats here. When you do a justice jump, you will get meter taken away from you based on how much damage you've done in the air. So I'm going to use a justice leap here, but I'm only going to fire 3 shots into the pilot of this boat. And that's going to burn enough meter so that when I get the fatality and the capture bonus, I get full meter again. And I'm going to use full meter to destroy this upcoming boat, because he's way out to the left, and I want to cut this corner and catch up with the rest of the group. So I'm going to fire some rounds into this guy. There we go. So I have 3 rounds left. And during a justice jump, you also have infinite ammo with your premium weapons. So if I have at least 1 bullet left here, there we go. Perfect. And then I can finish up the rest of the damage that I did earlier and eliminate that boat while still maintaining a good top speed here. Alright, so we've got 1 more boat, or 2 more boats to take care of here. I'm going to go after the front one first, because the second boat in this line here waistbands to the first boat. So if I take care of the first boat, then I can brake and catch up the second boat really easily. Whereas if I were to get the boat that's fallen behind, I would have to speed up and catch up to the first boat, and that wastes a little bit of time. And there you go, there's Hardware Hijack. So Warlords % is probably the easiest gang to do. It's an excellent entry point for people who are interested in speedrunning this game. Yeah. It has all 3 pillars of gameplay and a lot of interesting strategies, as you're seeing in this run so far. So we have an escort mission here, which is a bit unfortunate. This intro part is a bit of a side-scroller, but I'm playing this on actual PSP hardware. I'm playing this on a PSP 3000, and this level gets pretty laggy. So we're going to do some things in order to make sure that we're not losing frames and we're keeping that convoy speeding ahead as quickly as possible. So I kind of want to get ahead of all the action here, because this game does not render stuff behind you unless you are, well, looking behind you. So obviously we want to keep the frame rate up, because that means the convoy is moving to the end faster. However, if I get too far ahead of the convoy, then I will be yelled at, and I have a set amount of time to get back with them. And we're going to be using that to our advantage coming up later. Alright, I'm going to race ahead here. All these enemy spawns are the same every time. The weapons they give you are also the same. So, yeah. That also means this game does not have a lot of RNG, too, which is really nice in a game like this. Alright, Eliminator. Awesome. Alright, there's a pickup truck that'll come zooming from behind here. I'm way ahead of the convoy to reduce lag. Alright, so I only have 13 seconds to regroup. There we go. I've reset the timer, and I'm going to zoom ahead again. If you're playing this on emulator, you do not need to worry about doing these lag reduction strats. It's pretty much just an auto-scroller. You can't make it go any slower. I do not want to jump to that APC. I just want to simply... Oh, okay, there we go. There's a timer. That timer almost ran out and I wasn't paying attention. First of all, this pickup truck is faster than that APC, and we're going to need speed in a second. And then I get stuck with a shotgun, which I don't like. Alright, so when in the top left there, I see we're at 3:30 on the dot, I'm going to zoom ahead. Now, you're going to get yelled at if you leave the convoy, but zooming ahead at this particular section is just enough for us to make it to the end of the level in time. And we skip having to deal with one of the warlords trying to blow up the convoy. Alright, so some wall bonks here. Counters to your right, so you slide on the dirt perfectly. 2 more wall bonks. So there you can really see how much time those wall bonks save. Alright, so I'm going to arrest this guy for his assault rifle, since the assault rifle is really good in these on-foot sections for just demolishing through health bars. Excellent. Alright, I'm going to get a refill from this individual. So I don't want to go too far forward here because I don't want to spawn the next group of enemies, because if I do, they love pathing behind crates. Perfect. Alright, get the shotgun guy on the right. Get this dude. Capture this man for an assault rifle refill because we'll need it for the upcoming boss. And finish up this lad. Excellent. Alright, so this is the Lieutenant Davies fight. This will be our first boss for this run. There's a fast Davies strategy, which is really difficult, and we're still trying to get to the bottom of how to reliably do it, so I'll probably not do it in this video, but I'll try my best. Alright, so you catch up with Davies there, and you open fire on him. And when Davies gets to a particular part here, he's going to try and zoom ahead. As you see, I'm riding up beside him. Got the block. Will this be it? It's not it. Okay, dang it. So in some situations, we're still trying to figure out exactly why it happens, but you can get Davies to stop him from zooming ahead like that, and you can beat him in one cycle. In order for him to allow him to catch back up to you, you do need to take out this APC, which is a bit annoying. But, okay, so that wasn't super bad. I did lose meters, so I don't have the extra damage, but that Davies fight could have been a lot slower. Still trying to get to the bottom of how fast Davies works, so if you're interested in running this game and you're a glitch hunter, hey, why not? Why not take a stop over here and help us save a whole bunch of time. Alright, so the next level of velocity is a reference to the excellent action movie Speed. There's a bus with a bomb on it, and if you drive slow, that bomb will explode. This is pretty much an auto-scroller, but there's some fun tech you can do here, and I'm going to hopefully show it off. There is a trick right at the beginning, though. We do need to board the bus, and being on top of the bus, you have to sort of waddle on the roof of it all the way to the front, and that's really slow, so we want to jump as far forward on the bus as possible, which if you just crouch like that, oh my goodness, that was really good. So yeah, you can instantly jump to the front right there really quickly and immediately take control. If you were to jump from the back of the bus, you would have to slowly waddle your way up all the way to the front of the bus, and that loses a lot of time. So I was saying earlier how turning really slows you down and you want to sort of tap and bounce off of walls, and that applies tenfold to heavy vehicles such as transport trucks that you drive in some missions, and especially this bus. We're going to be wall bonking all over the place, and we're going to make sure that we're top turning. If you're in a heavy vehicle like this, holding down a direction to turn for more than even a couple frames really tanks your speed. And speaking about speed, we have a friendly off-roader who's going to try and get the civilians off the bus. Oh, that wasn't too much of a boost. But you can get him to push you from behind, and you can get a whole lot of speed off of it for a tiny bit. The trade-offs being that he's really slippery. It's really difficult to keep him on your behind and keep you pushing. And as well, it also deals a ton of damage, because almost every frame he's doing ram damage to you, and that adds up. So you can't boost for too long, although your bus does have a lot of health. So yeah, not a whole lot to talk about here. So we're gonna try for boosts, and we're gonna try and avoid losing too much time. That was an okay boost. You can get some ridiculous things off this off-roader. This off-roader does need to be on your left side in order to unload civilians. If it's not, then you will not get any indicator.
You're on the highway to hell.
Here he comes again. Oh, okay, that was an interesting boost, but he got on my right side there. You also can't waste too much time boosting, because you do need to get these civilians off before the end of the road here in about 4 kilometers. If you see in the top left there, that tells you your distance, and we actually use those distances in routing to tell us, sort of gauge how well we're doing, and when certain events can happen. Alright, will we get a boost? Nope, just came up from simply behind me. Okay, so not that great of a boost.
I thought you were some shake and bake rookie cop. Next time.
Alright, so this is we got speed bus, as I call it. We got a very good bus mount, but not a whole lot of good boost. So this was an okay velocity, which is a great mission name. Alright, so just tap turning, be delicate. You don't want to lose too much speed. And there you go. I should say, every in-game cutscene can be skipped by pressing start, which makes this very speedrunning friendly.
General can look forward to a court-martial for this. Well.
Alright, Day of the Dam is up next. This is a very difficult level because it all entirely relies on your aim. It's the chopper gunner section for this run. So, pardon me if I don't talk too much during this. I do need to focus to get Dam Warp. If I destroy 7 out of 9 of the boats, I believe it is. Yeah, 7 out of 9. I will telewarp all the way to the front 2 boats. Since the helicopter does crash at around 6.5 there on the map, so I want to destroy 7 boats before that point, and this requires really good aim. So, if you'll pardon me for a moment. Okay, good so far. Yeah, these boats love to crash if you destroy certain groups at certain distances as well. That is not RNG. It's because when boats are off screen, they're not loaded. Oh my goodness, just like that. Look at that. Where are we teleworking to? There we go. Alright, I think we're still good for Dam Warp. We just need to get this guy up here, and we are well before the 650 mark. Well, we'll see. We'll be cutting it a little close here. That's okay. 7 out of 9. So you see, we're crashing. Oops, that's a bit early. So there we go. We've warped all the way to the front 2 boats, and we're opening fire on them. So the reason we had to wait a little moment before we got dropped there, normally the moment that cutscene starts, you can get dropped on the boats. That's because the boats are currently around a turn and it's unsafe to get dropped on them, so you need to wait until getting dropped.
Aren't we proud of ourselves?
That was, so because we had to wait there and that crash that happened, that wasn't the best Dam Warp, but we got it, and that saves a boatload of time. Since getting on the second last group and catching up to the front does waste a whole lot of time. Alright, General's Revenge is coming up here. We're going to want meter, because like I said, when you have meter, you do more damage. So we're going to do a setup to make sure that we have meter so we can do as much damage to General as possible. And we're going to do the 3 bumps. Can we get it? 1. Not at all what we're doing. Alright, that was awful. Normally you want to get a brute force times 3 there, and that gives you enough meter so that when you catch up to General here, and you capture the 2 boats, you have enough for a full meter. So I do need at least one more brute force there. Excellent. Alright, so this should give us a meter. That wasn't the best setup, but we have meter, and we're attacking the general, so that's all I can ask for. So yeah, you do want to sort of ping-pong off those two boats, because every time you get the multiple of the same bonus in a row, such as brute force, the meter you get back is exponential. So a brute force times 1 is not a lot of meter. A brute force times 2 is double that, and then triple that, and then yeah. So I'm bad at this game, and my boat is dead here, so I have to burn meter so I won't die, get my health back. But I wanted to delay doing that as long as possible to keep my double damage up. 1919! That's a very good time. Holy moly. World record's like 1907 currently. That was a PB I set yesterday. Oh, if I got a 1919 in a marathon run, oh, that'd be good. This was very close to being amazing. We lost a little bit of time on Dam Warp, and I'm pretty sure we lost maybe a second or two on each split just to do to... not super tight play, but this was an excellent run to do commentary for. And when you beat the general, you get a satisfying cutscene where he is definitely dead and there's no sequel hook. And there you have it. There's Warlords percents, and this was not even done in the optimal mission order too. We could have saved a maybe a second or two on menuing. Oh well, there you go. Warlords percent. If you want to know more, please reach out to the Pursuit Force community. Yes, there's enough of us to warrant a community. You can find us on. You can find the link to the Pursuit Force Speedruns Discord on the speedrun.com page. Just search for Pursuit Force on speedrun.com and I'm sure you'll find us. I stream this game all the time. I'm currently grinding a bunch of the categories. I'm going for Warlords Sub 19 on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/HeyMTG. And also look out for the other cool Pursuit Force runners. You have Hotline at twitch.tv/Hotline1. I believe he's currently doing this game's sequel, Extreme Justice. And also look out for Viper, twitch.tv/ThePBG13. And he doesn't only do this game, he does a variety of racing games, but he's a great fella, and I want you to follow him. Thank you very much for spending your time watching this video. Hopefully this has interested you in trying to speedrun this game, and I hope you have an excellent day, and stay safe.